a voltage is applied to the primary coil. As a result, we get a magnetic field. A secondary coil is introduced. If a load is applied, Lenz's law produces a magnetic field in the opposite direction to the primary coil's magnetic field. Now we add our partnered secondary coil. The vector of each magnetic field sum to 0. Each partnered output coil has 3 times the turns of the input coil in this example, giving a 1:3 ratio. This steps the voltage up in the partnered output coils. Current is not stepped down as a result. Feedback and feed-forward in the partnered output coils can increase the separation of charge carriers and excess output energy can be obtained. For very little cost and with very little experience, one can start experimenting with this technology. You can start from around $20 if you already have some simple test equipment. Places like Jayco, Radio Shack and even Amazon can help with materials. Please, learn it, use it, and most importantly, share it. Our future is in our own hands. Knowledge is only freedom if it is applied. For more information, please visit www.hayek.org. Downloads, Guidelines to Bucking Coils.pdf. I have given everything freely, all I ask in return is to give credit to those who deserve it.
Dai dopo.
This video is to show you how the free energy magnet motor works. First, I would like to show you the principle of its working on the 2 magnets. I add 1 magnet to this plastic stick so that I avoid this magnetic field, this side magnetic fields, this side magnetic fields, and I have only this front side magnetic field influence. On the other hand, I stick another magnet on the fan cooler, on one side of the fan cooler. So the principle is that when one magnet is pushing out other magnet from its direction, what is causing the rotation of the fan cooler. You can see when I put closer the magnet, it is pushing out the magnet in front of it. So if you have more magnets on this side and this side, it will always pushing out the following magnet, what will cause the rotation. So when we push it closer, it is causing rotation. Now let's have a look how it would look like if we put more magnets. So I have prepared other funculaire with more magnets. As we doesn't need electricity, let's put off the electric cable and try the result of this. Okay, so let's try to do the experiment with the magnet and this. Be careful when you do it that you catch the magnet from these both sides so that you avoid the underside magnetic field. So let's try to put the magnet closer. Okay, we will take it like this from this side. Okay, we see immediately when you put the magnet closer, it's starting rotating. When you put the magnet off, the rotation is slowing, and it is stopped. Let's try it again. Put the magnet closer, catch it from this side, this is from underside. Okay. Important is to have a right angle. You see, so this is how the free energy magnet motor works. It's very important to have strong magnet and to take it from this side so they do avoid the other fields. If you like this video, please have a look on my other videos and please subscribe. Thanks.
Hey there, so I wanted to do a quick video showing you my experiences with making one of these free energy generators using the magnets in the case fans. You can see the strength of those magnets. So it's a pretty cool looking design, and it does seem plausible when you first think about it. You just put the magnets on the back of each blade, and then all you need is a big powerful magnet held up to that, and it'll just spin one to the next. Seems like it could work. There it goes. The conclusion is that no, of course, you can't get free energy out of these things, but you can actually get the motor to spin just using magnets. So you don't need a battery or any of that other stuff. I can get the motor to spin and the fan blades to spin with the magnets, but you have to be holding one of the magnets and moving it in a certain way near the fan blades. That's all there is to it. If you're holding a good sized magnet and you're moving it in a certain way, even around in just a small circle right in the right spot, you can get those fan blades to turn and it will generate electricity. But that electricity will never be more than the power you're using to move that magnet. It'll always be a little bit less. So can you make energy with magnets in this? Yep. Will it ever be equal to or more than the energy used to turn the fan blades? Nope.
In today's video, we're going to be taking a look at a free energy magnet motor. The motor you see set up right here, I duplicated from other videos shown on YouTube. This device was made using the magnets from 7 microwave oven magnetrons. We have 12 mounted on the flywheel and another 2 used to rotate the wheel. Each one of these magnets has a diameter of 2 1/4 inches and an opening in the center of 3/4 inches. The wheel I made right here, it's on a ball bearing. It spins extremely easy, so there's very little drag to interfere with the experiment. Now the video that I observed online, the person used a very heavy-duty spindle. It looked like it was off of a wheel axle of a vehicle. On top of that spindle was a steel plate around 3/8 of an inch thick. Now I've tried it with steel underneath the magnets. That individual took the magnets and stuck them to the steel plate. That's how he did it. And for this demonstration, because I did not want to glue these down and ruin my magnets, what I did is I took brass screws so it doesn't interfere with the magnetic activity of the wheel, and I screwed down the magnets in the proper position, north or south, using these wooden discs that I cut using a hole saw. When I tried the same experiment, I used this large saw blade. This is a 10-inch steel blade. I placed all the magnets around the perimeter and repeated the same experiment that you're about to see here and obtained the same results. Let me show you what the bottom looks like with the bearing that I put in. Now in order to have this bearing secure inside this pulley, the pulley is off of a junked washing machine. I drilled a large hole for the diameter of the bearing. It's a sealed ball bearing. Once that was done, I drilled 2 holes into the aluminum center of the pulley, threaded them using an 832 tap, and then I made this plate. I drilled out the center and put a notch, so I'm able to lock in that bearing so it can't move. So now it turns very, very easily. The orientation of these magnets was determined by watching a few of the videos. Of course, when you watch these free energy videos, everything is a big secret and specific details are rarely, if ever, given to the viewer. That alone should tell you something when you watch these free energy videos. By watching a couple of the videos, I noticed that the uploader placed white tape on 2 magnets side by side. Then he left one with no tape. These 2 had tape. Over here, there was no tape, then 2 more with tape, and the process went all the way around the same way. I was also able to look at how the other 2 magnets, which caused this wheel to rotate, which I'll show you in a minute, how they interacted with the wheel, how the pull was, that it was definitely 2 up. These could be 2 north or 2 south, and then you skip one and do like I just told you. I also tried 1 up, 1 down, 1 up, 1 down, all the way around the wheel. There's the right amount of magnets here, so if I start with north and then go south, then went north and south all the way around, I would end up with south next to north. It also makes no difference how many magnets you use, because what matters is the interaction of the perimeter of the wheel with these magnets along the edge in relation to the magnets which rotate the wheel. So you could have 30 magnets here, you could have 18, you could have 12 like me, and it would all test the same way. To show how the magnets are set up, I'm going to take this other ring magnet you see. I'm going to go to the wheel. That's repelling, and that's attracting. So watch, it's going to repel over these 2 and attract. It's going to repel those 2, attract, repel, repel, and attract to that one. Repel, repel, and attract. So that's the way this one's set up. It's repel, repel, attract, repel, repel, attract. So I'm going to be demonstrating, showing this setup first, and then just to satisfy everybody's curiosity, I'm going to switch to north-south, north-south, all the way around the wheel. Let me show you the other part of this free energy device that was shown online. Alright, what you're looking at is a part that spins freely. When this magnet here starts to interact with the wheel, it's supposedly going to spin into free motion and keep going and go faster and faster and faster. Once it reaches a fast speed, what happens next, the individual takes a belt, connects it to the flywheel with the magnets, and connects it to a very small motor under a very light load to show you that it's producing free electricity. This right here is oiled, both sides. It's extremely smooth, the shaft, and you can see it spins nicely. How I made this, just like the other video, you have two of the ring magnets sandwiched together, same spacing on both sides of the magnet to compensate for the shaft. One side is north, one side is south. It's glued together, and I also used a PVC pipe, which is 1/2 inch, to secure everything because it's a perfect fit, 3/4 OD, and drilled directly through the pipe to have that axis to rotate on. So that's how this was made here. What I'm going to do now is give you a little demo, and we're going to see if this actually works as they claim. In the other video, once this was brought directly over the wheel, the whole wheel started spinning and it picked up speed and went faster and faster. We're going to give that a shot now to see if that's true. Keep in mind I tried different spacing between the bottom of this magnet and the top of this one. I also watched that other video several times, and I was able to judge what the spacing was in the other person's video between the top of the ring magnet and the bottom of the two magnets you see here. We're going to push this down. You can see the wheel is starting to move a little bit. Let's bring it a little closer. Now, right about now, the magnet would flap down. Let me get this going. Alright, you can see it trying to flap down. Right there. So once he put this over this, according to the other individual, this would just start spinning away. Alright? So as you can see, I'm touching it by hand. Now, this definitely interacts with these magnets, but as you can see, this wheel is not spinning away. I can keep going around. I could try moving it further in, like that. Now, this should take off spinning, according to the other video. And as you can see, it is not taking off spinning. I could try moving it out a little bit. There's definitely an interaction, but nothing that's going to cause this wheel to spin and produce electricity if there was a pulley attached to it. Now, if you notice, in the other video, what the person did, they didn't show you an exposed device like I have here on top. Alright, they didn't show you that. What they showed you was just the two magnets inside of a metal box. For some reason, and it's very suspicious as usual, there was sheet metal around the entire thing that these magnets were in. And what that tells me is there is a battery operated device inside that unit, which is this one right here, which had a motor inside of it, which caused these magnets to rotate. Once these magnets rotate, then yes, this wheel will spin and spin very fast. But just the fact that you place these two magnets in close proximity to each other is not going to make this spin fast. So what the person did inside that metal box with the two magnets is a motor which rotates these two magnets, causing this wheel to spin very fast. I could demonstrate by simply turning the wheel to show you how that magnet spins around like that. Alright? And if you watch that video, you would see that this magnet turns exactly like mine. It flops in and flops in and flops in, just like you see there. Alright? But something is wrong because his spins and mine doesn't. I'm going to connect up a piece of rubber onto the shaft of this magnet here that rotates and show you how I can get this wheel to spin very quickly. Alright, I'm going to slowly rotate. This is just like there's a hidden motor inside the box. Alright. And of course, if I go faster and faster and faster, and you can see the wheels going faster and faster and faster. so that's how that works. So now you know that that device is a scam. It's not going to work the way he shows. So the motor spins the two magnets, causing the lower wheel to rotate. The faster the magnets rotate, the faster the wheel below will spin. Let me take these magnets now, make them north-south, north-south, all the way around, just to show you that that is not a possibility as to why this does not work. So we're going to definitely switch the magnets around and repeat the demonstration. Okay, to satisfy my viewers, I now switched around the magnets. You're going to see one is north, one is south, one is north, one is south, one is north, one is south, etc. I'll show you using this magnet here. That's repelling. That's attracting. Repel, attract, repel, attract, repel, attract, repel, attract, repel, attract, repel, attract, repel, attract. Alright, so now you know the whole wheel is set up north-south, north-south. We're now going to take the two magnets with the shaft going through them and bring them towards the wheel and see if it spins any differently. Let me bring in the magnet now. Place it right where the other one was, right there. And as you can see, there's not much going on. Doesn't rotate as good as the other way with the two up and one down, which was how the other person did it. It's hanging up a little bit. Yep. I also tried doing two up and two down, and that also made no difference. Let's try it again. And of course you don't see it free spinning, at least anytime soon. And this magnet has trouble flopping over because the configuration on the bottom is not right. It was definitely two up and one down. See, it doesn't operate properly. Once again, you've seen another video on YouTube which was a hoax. Hopefully by me having access to all these free supplies to make this, I saved you the time and the money from trying to duplicate this yourself. If you post a comment on this video, please do not post silly comments telling me what I did wrong, why this does not work, unless you yourself have tried duplicating this and have a video on your channel to show me. If you enjoyed this video, please rate it a thumbs up, subscribe, and post links to this video on other websites and blogs. Also be sure to check out my video playlists as well. Thank you very much for watching. Video, we're going to take a look at something that's on YouTube where a lot of people are questioning if it works or if it doesn't work. Now, not long ago, an individual posted a video showing a case fan like you see here from a computer, and what he did is he wanted to show you how he made a free energy magnet motor. Now, after watching the video, it certainly appeared convincing, but I had to try it out for myself. Now, I followed exactly what the person did in the video. I went out and I purchased some neodymium disc magnets. In this case, there are 7. Now, the only difference is that my magnets are slightly thicker and his were slightly thinner. The positioning is all the same, and every single one of these magnets points in the same direction. Now, in my case, they all point to magnetic south, every single one of them. Once this is complete, every single one of these is facing the same direction, all either magnetic north or magnetic south facing outward. You're going to take another magnet, like you see here. This is an N38 or an N40 neodymium magnet. You're going to want to make sure that it's the exact same side. That's south. If I turn it around, that's north. Alright? So you want to use the south side of the magnet. And what you're going to do is the south side of the magnet is going to repel each one of these and supposedly make them spin very quickly in that direction. Now, because this is magnetic south and the magnet is also going to be magnetic south, they're the same, so they're going to want to repel each other. So by bringing the magnet close to the fan blades, you would expect the magnet to push away, which it will. But that individual shows in his video is that once the magnet, a single magnet, is brought close to the fan, it just goes on quickly and just speeds away. Alright, so what we're going to do now is we're going to test this. I'm going to bring my magnet close to this angle of the fan to see if the motor starts to spin. Alright, so now I'm going to hold the magnet right there and give it a little spin. And I can feel in my hand the magnetic fields acting on this magnet right here as I rotate the fan. So now I could try it there. Alright. So now I could try a whole bunch of different positions. I could try it here at an angle. Alright. Try it there. Spin it that way. And it just stops. And the problem you're having here, now I tried several magnets. I have a whole bunch of magnets here. I have these ceramic bar magnets. Alright. I have these ceramic disc magnets. I have neodymium discs, more of those. I have a whole bunch of these huge neodymiums. These are 1 inch diameter by about 3/8 thick. I have 2 of these smaller ones. I have a neodymium rod. I have a lot of different magnets here. I also have these thin ones right here. They all go together. Now in that video he shows he's using one magnet. Now if you use the one magnet, now this side is the magnetic north side and that's magnetic south. So I just got to make sure that I bring the one next to it. Alright, so if I bring this close like he did, this should start spinning in reality, right? And it's not. The problem you're having with this type of a setup, you're having a problem with cogging. C-O-G-G-I-N-G, cogging. And what happens in between each one of these magnets, like you see here, alright, you have a magnetic field coming off of it. Now these are opposite poles, how they attract, and these are similar poles, how they repel. Now what I mean by cogging, you'll see the way the field comes off the disc magnet. If I hold another magnet above it, the field might come off like this. And when it comes off like that, it's going to want to get caught inside the area that you see right here or after it. And what happens, that kind of hangs things up as you try and spin things. And that's why when you rotate the motor, you may feel it grabbing every time it turns. It's because of cogging, which is the magnetic field like locking into all these other areas of the magnetic field. So right now I'll spin it. Now the cogging is when I turn the fan, watch how it bounces into position. You see that? That's what's happening here. Now I also tried holding the magnet sideways and spinning it. I tried putting the magnet along the outside. And you can see right now it's really cogging. Each position's locking. I tried taking the bar magnets and holding them against the side and spinning it. I even tried to counteract the cogging in the fan by using more than one magnet to try and break it free from that cogging action. So if it wanted to lock in right here, I would try positioning this magnet in a different area to get past that spot where it's trying to hang up. I've tried everything with this and it just doesn't do it. So clearly, no matter what I do with the magnet, I could put one there, you could put one along the bottom, you could place one along the top and try everything in. No matter what you do, you could try putting a little bit of a field on it, like that. Make sure it's the same way, it's backwards. That's the right way. Make sure it's right. And, alright, you could try doing 2. And I even tried using 2 to stop the cogging, and then also use a third additional one. And even with 3, I had a serious problem. So the odds of this thing working, like that video states it does, is very slim, or next to nil, because I'm very good at putting things together, and I have an understanding of how this actually works. and it's very hard to get past that cogging that's there. I've tried everything on this fan, and it does not spin the way that video shows. So clearly, in my opinion, the video, to me, is a fake. Alright? Because I don't see how it's possible to overcome that cogging like that and have the fan come on that fast. Now I've tried these little ones here. They're powerful neodymiums. I put one there. And then I've tried others in different spots, trying to counteract. And then I give it a spin. And it might go a little bit and stop. But you see that cogging is very strong. And you go like that. You have to realize that there are a lot of videos on YouTube that are fakes, and the reason why they do that is because they want your views and they want to make money. Now, I would also like to have a lot of views as well, but I refuse to put out a fake video in order to get those views. So more than likely that YouTuber has a little reed switch inside of here with a couple little button cells that are hidden, and when you bring the magnet close, you're closing the relay contacts, energizing the windings, letting the fan come on. You could also kind of pick out the ones that are fake videos because you notice that there's never any information given. Now, if I got this to work right here, what I would do is I would say, okay, this is the model number fan that I used. I used N35 disc magnets at so-and-so thickness, and I positioned them so many millimeters on center to this point. I glued them down, and once I did that, I took a ceramic bar magnet like this. I would give you the dimensions, tell you exactly what it is, and then when you try it, you would hold the magnet there and see that it works. It wouldn't just do that and stop. Alright? So I would give you all the information because I know that it works, and I want you to be able to make one so yours works as well. But the difference is with these other videos is they're fake. When you don't see them replying to your questions, and they don't put out schematics, and they don't explain things, that everything's a big secret, you know it's a fake video. When you see the ones that explain and offer all the information up front, and they're offering to help you and show you how it's done, then you know you might have a real video. But until then, you have to be careful of these videos because a lot of them are fake. If you enjoyed this video, please rate it a thumbs up, subscribe, and post links to this video on other websites and blogs. Also be sure to check out my video playlists. Thank you. Okay, welcome to another one of my videos where I like to
expose the frauds.
Now there's another free energy device on YouTube. It's labeled as a free energy magnet generator or an over unity device. And now you have to understand, the reason why I put these videos together is not because I personally believe they work. It's because I want to prevent people from wasting their time and money by trying to duplicate some of the circuits that they see on YouTube. And the only way for me to do that is by duplicating it exactly as I saw online, so you could see that it does or does not work. In this case, it does not work, so you know that you don't have to try duplicating it. Now, I looked at the video online that the individual uploaded, and I did a very careful look at his schematic. I saw exactly how the windings went through the core, as well as how many turns went through the core. Now the capacitors are what you see here. This yellow capacitor, it's an AC capacitor. That's a 0.47 microfarad. I tried several different values. I've tried a 220 nanofarad, which is a 0.22, and I tried a 0.19, and I even tried a 0.63, so I can confirm that the values are not going to make a difference. The blue is the same value as the yellow, just a different rating and a different manufacturer. I also made sure the diodes are positioned properly. If you look here, both are facing in the same direction according to his video. And I also used an incandescent 12-volt lamp. This one draws less current than the one he used in his video. Now the only thing, these diodes you see here are 1 amp. He used a 3 amp diode. That doesn't make any difference. I tried several different types of diodes. I tried the 1N400 series. I tried fast diodes. I tried ultra fast diodes as well as Schottky diodes. And the one you see here is an ultra fast rectifier diode, a 1 amp. The core I made, I cut it out of a laminated iron core, bolted it together, precision cut on the magnet. That's a neodymium. Actually, this turned out much nicer than what you saw in the other person's video. More professional looking, neat. So let's give it a try and see what's actually going on here. Now, to show you that the battery is a good battery, because sometimes people will say, oh, he's using a battery that's dead, it might be a trick. So look at the meter, touch the probes. If there was a battery hidden inside the meter to show 9 volts, when I do this you would see it. Nothing. We're going to check the battery's voltage, show you that it is 9 plus. We have 966. Okay, this bulb definitely has a good filament in it, and the windings are going the exact same way. Same number of turns. I use 14 gauge wire. Now, according to the individual, as soon as you touch in his case, he did the negative to this side a few times, you should get the magnetism going and have the light up. So let's give it a try. And as you can see, you don't see anything going on with that bulb. And I got news for you, you are never going to see anything going on with that bulb, because it is another YouTube scam video. Unfortunately, they put these videos out there in order to get people to view their videos so they can make money on the views, as well as try and find investors that they can scam. If a circuit like this actually worked, there would be lots of devices that would not require batteries, or only require the battery to get it started, and then once it's started, you no longer have a need for your battery. And of course, as I said in my other videos, the person would not be placing the video on YouTube. Instead, they would be seeking the assistance of a patent attorney to get this idea patented so they can make some real money off the invention. So it is a scam, that's for sure. You can't make it any nicer than the way I made it. Everything is precise, and more than likely the way the individual did it, inside one of these capacitors here, they probably popped it out of the plastic housing and possibly hid a LiPo battery, which is a lithium polymer. They're very strong. You can hide them in here, and you can get the circuit to power up that way to light up the incandescent lamps. Or there's a coil underneath the table or hidden in the floor, and this is being powered through induction. So it is absolutely 100% a fraud. Save your time and money, and do not try duplicating it. If you enjoyed this video, please rate it a thumbs up, subscribe, and post links to this video on other websites and blogs. Also be sure to check out my video playlists as well. Thank you.
Today I am going to explain you the principle of the over-unity generator. The system is made of two motors connected together both mechanical way and electrical way. One motor works simply as a motor and the other one works as a generator. Because of the energy losses, this system would stop quickly, but I found the effective way to compensate them. The voltage rating of the generator has to be slightly higher than the one of the motor. My generator is rated 240 volts and my motor is rated 220 volts. This little overvoltage is enough to compensate the electrical and mechanical losses. You also have to compensate the induction nature of the motors using the parallel capacitor. Such a capacitor is nothing special. And now I am starting the system. You can see it is accelerating. And now at the full RPM. I just edit a load to show the over unity effect. I am measuring the output voltage. Now you probably ask why the output voltage is so close to the nominal line voltage. This is because of the self-stabilizing effect of those motors. The motors are designed so that their iron cores are just below the point of saturation at their nominal voltage. After the startup, the voltage is rising until reaching the point of saturation. Above the point of saturation, the efficiency of the motor is rapidly decreasing so that the voltage cannot go higher in the self-running system. It would be no longer over unity. Please never try this at home. The system is generating very dangerous voltage. It can kill you.
Thank you for watching.
Hello everybody. In one of my previous videos I have showed you the free energy generator based on the principle of magnet transformer. Today I am going to make more experiments with this very interesting device. First I will briefly describe the principle of its operation. There are two coils, the primary coil, secondary coil, the neodymium magnet, iron core, resonance capacitors, and the diodes that rectify the direction of the energy circulation. There's a light bulb as a load, and that's all. The energy circulates in the system from the moment it is started by an external source of power. The magnet itself can't generate current in the secondary coil because its magnetic field is steady, it is not alternating. But thanks to the primary coil, there are changes in the magnetic field so that it can induce the current in the secondary coil. And thanks to the magnet, the secondary coil is generating more power than enters the primary coil. So this is why the system becomes over unity. Now I am going to do some experiments. First I will measure the voltage. There is 13 volts. Now the load is only 1 watt. I am going to add 5 watt light bulb as a load. You can see the voltage is almost stable. And 60 watt car light bulb. This is a really powerful light bulb. You can see it's really bright. I am using the battery to start the operation. The problem is that I cannot start it with such a heavy load connected. So I have to disconnect this light bulb first, starting it only with a small light bulb, and then reconnecting the big light bulb. Now it is operating. So I am going to show the startup process once more. I am disconnecting the big light bulb, starting it, and reconnecting the big light bulb. Now it's operating. So you can take this away with yourself.